Chip Kelly was one of the hottest names in college football head coaching during the early 2010s. We all remember his electrifying Oregon Duck teams. They were fast, they were flashy, and they put the entire country on notice. In just his second season as a head coach, Kelly did what most other coaches can only dream of doing in their career. He reached the national championship. Unfortunately, this was the pinnacle of his career, and his early success would greatly overshadow anything that he did after. He has never been able to live up to what he accomplished at Oregon. Right now in 2023, he's sitting on the hot seat as head coach for the UCLA Bruins after posting a measly 34-33 record in 6 seasons. In this video, I will discuss the career trajectory of Chip Kelly and speculate what has gone wrong. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to join the best family in college football. I'm going to throw the graphic up on screen, but too many of you are watching my videos all the way through. You're enjoying it, you're engaging, but you're forgetting to push that big subscribe button. Make sure to do so you never miss out on another awesome upload like this. Let's do it. Chip Kelly was hired as the offensive coordinator under Mike Bellotti for the Oregon Ducks prior to the 2007 season. It didn't take Kelly long to make his mark. The Ducks led the Pac-10 in scoring and total offense that season, and they did it again in 2008, breaking multiple school records. Chip Kelly was seen as an offensive mastermind, popularizing his take on the high-octane spread offense at the college level. In 2009, he was promoted to head coach for the Ducks and changed the outlook on Oregon football forever. To summarize the greatness of Chip Kelly at Oregon, let's just take a look at his accolades by season. 2009, 10-3, first Pac-10 coach to win a conference title in his first year. He led the Ducks to their first Rose Bowl appearance since 1995. 2010, they averaged 49 points a game. That is video game-like. That's what I'm doing in NCAA 14. A 12-0 undefeated regular season and a national championship appearance. Kelly ended up winning the AP National Coach of the Year. 2011, Oregon went 12-2. They were just a missed field goal away from competing in another national championship. But hey, they won the Rose Bowl, so that's pretty good, right? They finished 4th in the country in the final AP poll. 2012, Oregon went 12-1, winning the Fiesta Bowl and finishing the season ranked number 2 in the AP poll. So you get the point. This was absolute excellence. Kelly went 46-7 in Eugene, which I can barely fathom. 46-7 is an 867 win percentage. To put that in perspective, Nick Saban's is an 800 and Dabo Sweeney's is 806. He had one of the best starts in his first 50 games of head coaching at the college level of all time. But unfortunately, this was the end of the road for Chip Kelly in Oregon, and this was also the last time he would see this level of success. He was building a legacy and possibly even a future dynasty in Eugene. This could have just been the beginning, but why would he want to possibly leave? Chip had been drawing interest from many NFL teams dating back to 2006. He had even interviewed for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers prior to his 2012 campaign at Oregon. In 2013, he interviewed with the Browns, Bills, and Eagles. He eventually decided on the Eagles. Around the same time, due to recruiting violations, the Oregon football program was put on a mini probation, meaning a loss of scholarships, and a show cause order on Kelly, meaning if he went to another program, these sanctions would follow him. But he claimed this didn't affect his decision-making. Quote, "As I have stated before, the NCAA investigation and subsequent ruling had no impact on my decision to leave Oregon for Philadelphia." To put it short, he had failed as a head coach in the NFL. He spent 3 years in Philadelphia, going 10-6 and reaching the postseason in 2013, then going 10-6 the next year while missing the playoffs in 2014. Then 2015 came around and he just went 6-9, getting fired before the final game of the year. Just a few weeks later, he was hired by the San Francisco 49ers, which ended up being a big disaster. He went 2-14 during the 2016 season, with both the offense and the defense being ranked the worst in the league. The Niners gave him a short leash as they fired him right before the final game of the season. Many experts speculate that the lack of success stems from his stubborn nature, and he was under heavy scrutiny by both fan bases. But this isn't too far out of the ordinary, as success at the college level doesn't automatically transfer to the NFL. We have seen this in countless examples. Nick Saban, Steve Spurrier, and Lou Holtz are just a few legendary college coaches who didn't pan out in their time in the NFL. It's just a completely different game. 2017 was the most odd part of Chip Kelly's career, in my opinion. On May 26th of that year, Kelly was hired by ESPN as a studio analyst for college football. He was only 52 years old at the time, and many knew that he had much more left in the tank as a college coach, so it was weird to see him in front of a camera. This wasn't completely out of the ordinary, though, because we had seen this with Urban Meyer in 2011, where he was in between coaching jobs and signed with ESPN. But I always think it's interesting to see coaches who are still so fresh from the game take these positions and ultimately go right back to coaching. I don't want to get nitpicky, but I didn't enjoy Kelly that much as a broadcaster. He was very discreet when he talked. He didn't bring a whole lot of energy, and he didn't have the charisma that most people on these networks have. But luckily, that didn't last for long, as he was hired as the head coach for the UCLA Bruins prior to the 2018 season. People were stoked. I was stoked when I heard this news. Chip Kelly returning to college football after the last time he was here dominated and changed the sport. UCLA was a program in desperate need for some change. They hadn't won their conference since 1998 and also didn't have any significantly meaningful bowl wins in that time. Many people agree that when big market teams in college football are successful, it's good for the sport. UCLA, it's beautiful, it's prestigious, they play in one of the most iconic stadiums in the sport. It would be eye-catching to see them be a dominant program. Who would be better to lead a program out of a dry spell than Chip Kelly, considering his track record at Oregon? Things were looking up in Pasadena. The Chip Kelly era at UCLA got off to a very rough start. He led the team to start the season 0-5 for the first time since 1943, ultimately finishing 3-9 in 2018. I've said this before and I'll say it again. You can't build a program in just 1 year, and the athletic department knew it was going to take time to establish his vision and culture on the field. One of the most pivotal aspects of college coaching is recruiting, and this is where Chip Kelly missed the mark going into the 2019 and 2020 seasons, where he brought in the 40th ranked class and then the 32nd, which is not anything special at all. In 2019, UCLA went 4-8, and then in a shortened 2020 season, they went 3-4. 3 years in and not much to show for Kelly, but 2021 was primed to be different. The Bruins went 8-4, led by quarterback sensation Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Unfortunately, they were unable to play in the Holiday Bowl due to COVID, which must have been hard for the seniors to take, and also a chance at lost momentum going into the 2022 season. But this didn't matter, as the Bruins started the year 5-0 for its first time since 2013. They eventually were 8-1, peaking at number 9 in the AP poll. This is when people thought UCLA is back, but they went 1-3 in their last 4 games to finish out the year for a 9-4 overall record. Not the way Bruins fans wanted to finish, but another solid year, and the program seemed to be moving in the right direction. UCLA wanted to build off this season and become a real conference and playoff contender in the last year of the Pac-12. But in 2023, the Bruins are just 7-4. This is the 3rd straight year of bowl eligibility, but no real major steps forward. UCLA football is slowly trending in the right direction, but it begs the question, is Chip Kelly going to be enough for them to actually compete in the Big Ten starting in 2024? It's been 6 years, and the Bruins have not once reached their conference title game. Obviously, I'm not the only one wondering that, as there were reports that were surfaced in Week 12 speculating that Chip was going to get fired after the rivalry game versus USC. The Bruins ended up winning that and it didn't go through. However, there's still a big chance they do it after the year ends. If UCLA wants a chance to really win championships, they need to fire Chip Kelly. This is not the same coach that took the world by storm in the early 2010s. He doesn't have that magic with him anymore. He's 34-33 in his career with the Bruins. And what worries me the most about Kelly is his overall recruiting. I don't deny the fact that he's a great X's and O's coach on the field, but can he do what it takes off the field to be great? He's never brought in a top 5 recruiting class during his tenure and continues to put a lot of 3-star talent on the field that can't compete with the West Coast giants like Oregon and Washington, who they will be playing annually as we move forward. Obviously, firing Kelly would be a risky decision as the Bruins join a new conference next year. The safe play is keeping him and continuing to be a mediocre team for the next however many years. But the right play is to go out and make a splash in the coaching market, propelling the program forward, even if it means a few years of rebuilding in a new conference. But even in that sense, with the NIL and transfer portal, a good coach can flip things around fast. So UCLA fans, when we speak about the subject of firing Kelly, do you guys want to be a mediocre team for the next 5 to 10 years? I hope one day Chip Kelly can return to dominance and be seen again as one of the premier coaches in the sport. But that day is not now. Thank you guys so much for reaching the end of the video. I've been Saturday Shenanigans, your home for unfiltered college football content. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, join the best family in college football. Never miss out on another upload like this, and I'll see you guys soon.